regardless of all that, they've proven that they're Div 1 worthy. They took Adolescents to the throat last week. Very, very close games, Tavi. We are finally loading in. To decide to dissect it, I believe you said we have Ghoul. I believe Ghoul was Oppenheimer's pick.
Yeah,
I believe we have another pick earlier before that. It will be Tavi. Remind me real quick.
Doctor, yeah.
Doctor, right? And Doctors, I do look. The reality of it is, you will see Oppenheimer get out here. It's just depending on how much practice they've put into Doctor. Because if they get out, they've set themselves up for a good win con. Because I know for a fact that, well, let's be truthful with each other, right? We do know that Quinia has
Oh,
not been in the best form, right? We do know that. We are on Col 2, Tavi, which is the correct map. I know a rapid brutality as well. I do love that, Tavi. I mean, batteries is the big one. Everyone loves Tavi. Honestly, you got this one. Depict us away, baby boy.
yeah. I think. Oh,
Oh!
there's a head-on fail there coming in. Anyway, okay, okay. This is a two-tap of the century, which is definitely Quinia's genius for baiting the locker. Regardless, oh my, what a horrid start for Oppenheimer this is. But yeah, I was going to launch into a bit of a monologue about how I believe Queen was a Stabbuffle player, perhaps before, but Rapid I believe is better. It's just more consistent than Stabbuffle. So anyway, that's the first hook, like 20 seconds into the trial, and yeah, we've lost corrupt intervention like 20 seconds in to get the hook. So that's not all that bad on Quinn's side, but I'm gonna continue this chase. I don't think there's really gonna be any gen above 50 at this point. Perhaps we do have Ray sitting on one. I did not really see them at all, but yeah, it's just gonna take free pressure will Queen here, and it's actually gonna deny this unhook too. So it's just going to be Kyle being caught out on the main building. Just again, free pressure coming in from Arquinia, and he's even trying to deny the hook even more. So kind of just knows the situation, and Jams, there's only one person on Chens, which is, I think this is a real mistake coming through. You don't send in, like, I don't think you just send in these players so early into the hook stage. They really could have been sitting gens more efficiently. And Queen is getting perfect body blocks, manages to deny the trade just for a little bit longer, but his missed time shock will be the unhook coming successfully for Cahill for tag. So I think Cahill, so not Cahill, I think Quinn will probably take the chase onto Cahill, but no, it's just going to be the tunnel out being initiated, and the first gen pops in the background. So a bit of a good sign for Oppenheimer in this spot, but I think we're just gonna be seeing. I believe this was it X. I'll get confirmation later, but yeah, I think this is X going down on the edge map. I don't really think they make much more because of this, and I think the body block
Oh my
might have came in too
god!
late. But no, there's there's the power stun coming through, and of course without exhaustions on Doctor, except I believe head on, it just means that yeah, no smash hit to worry about from Gwyneth's side. You can just continue walking down our survivor here. So yeah, I guess now it is going to be a hit coming through from again, I need to get confirmation of the survivor's name, but yeah, Claudette comes in for a hit, and this is the rapid value coming through. Before would have been at like 0 stacks by now because of the hits taken from the obsession, but yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of value at this point, and there's also head-on being attempted too. So, wait, hold on. So, no, hold on. Wait, Jams. So, the survivor who got caught in a locker wasn't the survivor with head-on at the start of... Oh, that's just funny to me.
Probably just trying to dodge the shock there. We do know denying Doctor early game. Pressure, ding, ding. Someone's at my front door. We're back in a second, Tavi. We do see two gens pop in the background. That is beautiful to see. Honestly, Stavros, this game has kind of turned around pretty quickly, hasn't it, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it has. I think Quina just got a bit confident around the main building, thinking that the pallet really did not have to be broken when, at the end of the day, it did get broken, and it just wasted more.
No, old Bud's PC has died. That is egregious from him. He's left me in a spot of bother here. No, they are playing it beautifully well. We're going to see a triple reset, double come in, no double, just a single reset with a body here. Sending Kate straight to Shaq. We've shocked off the reset there just for a laugh. That's going to crack up. Any extra seconds can matter here. Kind of a bad tag to take if you are the Kate, because I do think we wanted to make Shaq, and I don't think that's where we're going to end up. This eye filler here mid. Maybe a survivor to posture for a body. Stavros, please, interrupt me at any time when you are back. We are going to see a beautiful vault from Quinia there. And we are not going to make it. We are dying on the pallet. No pallet save is in sight. We need to be resetting. Is Ellie there? No, Ellie is not there. So this will be the second hook of the trial. If I'm not mistaken, yes, it will be. Doctor being around the 5 to 6 stage. Killer is, I don't know, probably even a bit less than that, depending on how well it's played, Tavi. I don't know if you're there or not.
Yeah, I mean, somehow the main building just did not work out for Queenie. W laptop again for me, but that took way too long for the second down jumps. That was like a good 3 minutes, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes between X's down, which is the Kate, between the first down and the unhook, and then that time before the second down is like 3 to 4 minutes, and you can see that result with the gens being popped. So yeah, I would agree. Just stages at this point. I don't really know if there's enough pressure to force a tunnel out in 4K at this point. And with this pallet drop too, that's very fortunate for X Arcade. So yeah, I don't know. I would assume perhaps more bodies are also being sent in to keep Kate alive, but that's a head-on. So I guess that's a body in a way.
Yeah. Gen pop in the background, tunnel coming out here. We do actually get the mind game coming through. We are going to take a body. This is very lovely. And you can see, Tavi, what I was saying before. Oppenheimer survivors are really locked in. And we are seeing, I believe this is X on the side of the killer playing. Honestly, Tavi, is there any real, moments where you thought that this game kind of was lost by Quinn? I guess, you kind of mentioned the main building incident. Kind of got a bit comfortable territorial. I also wanted to mention, Tavi, there is a world these days where you cannot actually just sit there and keep shocking. My boy has died again. But no, there is a world these days where you cannot just sit there and keep shocking. They have prevented that. They have fixed that. We are going to blind on hook. The gen has popped, Tavi. This is going to be 3 hooks. Is there really, like I said, anything that Quinn did wrong this game?
Yeah, I think funnily enough, Oppenheimer's mistake at the start sort of led Quinn to overcommit for the main chase, which in theory would have been good, right? It would have been good to take the chase onto the injured survivor, but then there's also the injured tunnel out. Then there's also the ace who had just taken a hit, who is also, I think, probably around main. I mean, there's a potential target there, and also the fact that the pallet was just not being broken, and that wasted a lot of time around the backside of the main building. So that just, yeah, I mean, with somehow, to me, I really don't know what went wrong either jobs. It's just happened, and then you just really question how it went wrong later. But that really can be the only thing that Quinn did wrong. This is just overcommit, which it's kind of hard again, at the end of the day, on a killer like Doctor as well, where it's sort of difficult to tell how much you're committing to a survivor, because Doctor's weak. Doctor does not get downs quickly in theory. This should not be should not be 2-tapping survivors at least the start. So really the only thing I can think of is just that because of the start, he overcommitted, maybe thought that he had way more time to get that down, when in fact it took way more time. That was really poorly said by me. But yeah, it just really bad overcommitment around the main building. Results in 4 stages, which I think is a very...
Put something out that it should be 4K, even equivalent to 4K. I mean, realistically, you shouldn't even be getting 4 fresh on the Doctor, if we're going to be completely honest. Honestly, Tavi, I think you've depicted it pretty well. It's just a rough result to work with. It's sort of like a 4K2 result, you know what I mean? Or like a 4K1 on a very low tier killer. Like that's what the result feels like right now for big, well, not even for big Ray. I was gonna say Ray probably is living the life right now. You know, he needs 5 stages. I mean, 5 stages is like we're talking like 5 stages in doable. It is definitely doable. You just saw it. You just saw 4 stages, but I think it's hard to pull off. It's harder to pull off these days than it isn't, as my point, Tarby. And I think that's also sort of what you're getting at.
Like I think like the previous set from Mastermind, Ray knowing, sorry, not Ray, Ellie knowing the win condition should also be very influential to the gameplay. It means that the survivors will not be able to like give away many hooks. That means they have to go for endgame saves. They cannot allow the survivor to perish. Otherwise, it's 3 stages on top of whatever was already collected in the trial. So, that being said, they've gotten off to a good start. So perhaps the 3 stages in the endgame won't be considered yet. We can see it is going to be. Oh, my stream is dying, but I'm pretty sure that is Blossom or Adam being chased around here, and they do manage to chain the back of main all the way back to the jungle gym. So this is a strong tile. It is something I do not like chasing as a Doctor, and yeah, you can see Blossom just playing it pretty nicely. I think we'll force a hit here though. Don't know if there's much they can do to avoid the shocks, but no, they're playing it. No, never mind. They've got some perfect parting. They got the pallet drop on an unexpected side, and they're just holding W away. So yeah, again, very good chases as I was predicting that KaitOkids we get off to, and we finally get the first hit 90 seconds into the trial jumps. Something that like is matched, like it's really only matched by like Oni. Like the length, the amount of time that it took to get that down. Oh, okay, to get hit is like similar to Oni. It's only matched in like Oni. So okay, I got some correction there. Adam is Quinn. I just sorry, my eyes did not read that as Quinya. So yeah, I guess now Navos just gonna hang around for a bit and force the pressure and just, you know, get the second gen done just with the delaying of the pickup. And yeah, Kaido's looking pretty solid as it is right now. I think that chase was pretty good. It kind of just, I think the body block kind of failed at the end, but that's kind of, I think that's sort of fine. You keep the health state, don't have to go through a sloppy reset in the future. And all you need to do is just make sure that you get a lot of survivors out the door and just not give away many fresh hooks. And in theory, that's good. This jungle gym's still up, by the way, so I believe this is 11, the new survivor. I believe this 11 should be able to play this jungle gym again, like Quinn did, and just continue this out. So yeah, just playing this really nicely. Fakes a window too, really good jukes coming in from the jumps.
I agree, and you know, they are playing it pretty well. They are setting themselves up for a good result, I'd say. We are at 1 stage with a chase at main, and this Robin is holding chase very nicely. I believe this is Robin, correct me if I'm wrong, Tavi, but we are holding a distance all the way edge map. This is very lovely played. We have a filler here, really nicely played. We are choosing to vault. That is a good tag to be taking on the side of 2 Teacher. I think we will see a body come in at some point. I think there's actually a Jake coming in, if I'm not mistaken, or an Ace. No, there's not. My eyes deceive. No, there was. He's on the other side. It's a Claudette, I think. Or no, it's an Adam. I'm not too sure. I cannot see the survivors. I think there's an Ace, a Kate, and an Adam. Yeah, so it was the Adam, I believe. Gonna get a pain res down. I called this 11. This is 12, though, for most people. But this down 11 side for me. 12 for most. Pain res, Tavi. This is probably where Ellie starts considering, alright, do I have to play for freshers now? And maybe this is the fault that Quinia had, Tavi. Didn't have that same luxury, or maybe not even luxury, we didn't have that same mentality last game. And we found a very, very cheeky survivor, just camp top main, Tavi. This is a very advantageous chase to take right now. And this will be a tag.
Yeah, and this is just 3 stages for Ellie if they want to go for them. They just want to head back to hook though and just pressure the 2 survivors here rather than just pressure the single survivor running away. So mind games will commence on the short wall. I don't think that much will happen. It's trying the iron in mind game, as I like to call it, but do have the ace there. Sorry, not the, it was Adam Ways, whatever. Just out there scouting. So yeah, he's gonna take the tag and just make distance away for both survivors. So I mean, look, with another gen popping, I think it would be wise for Ellie just to take any hook that they could find, because really, in theory, like any chase is fine. But then that's also okay. If that flashlight save came in, that would be crazy. But like, in theory, any chase is fine in this position, because there's only one first stage remaining to secure the game. But at the same time, I was gonna make the counter argument that was sort of what Quinn was trying to do last game. Saw the injured tunnel out on the back of main and thought, yeah, I'll commit the survivor. And committing the survivor took away pretty much the entire game from KaitOkids. And yeah, it's just Oppenheimer's decisions now on the killer that will see whether the win con will be met. So 2 teacher, I think, will be going down here. We'll actually force a shock out for going down. We do have a survivor going in, trying to force a short swing, and 2 teachers still goes down anyway. It's just a short loop to try play around. Perhaps there was a tiny bit of ping as well that was making that difficult, and Ellie's just going to use rapid brutality and secure another down. So yeah, this is just the win con staring Ellie in the face, and that secures set 1 as long as there's no flashlight here, which there is no flashlight. That means, yeah, 4 stages 3 fresh is achieved, and GG's to set 1. So KaitOkids kind of on the back foot here in set 1. I think they do have good recovery though, and they should be fine to step up to the next set, which is cool.
Cool being Oppenheimer's pick though, Tavi. You might not have remembered that, so like you said, they are definitely on the back foot. There is no question about that. You're gonna need to see something beautiful from them, because if you don't, that's just 2-0 done and dusted. And realistically, I know it's only week 2 of the tournament, but you only really can afford to lose 1, maybe 2 games and still make the top 5. That's the reality of it. That's how stacked the comp is these days. Teams are not going to give up wins so easily. And I do suspect that we will see KaitOkids switch on here. This is a team that versed Lyricen in the semis last season, Tavi, or maybe even in the quarterfinals. I'm not too sure. So we'll need to see a lot better from them. Personally, I'm expecting better, because we need to see something that is at a caliber of a top 2 team in this competition if you really want to be solidified as one of the big dogs. And KaitOkids used to have that reputation. They've kind of drifted out with, you know, how deep the pool has gotten with talent of teams, you know. Not to shit on them or anything, but, you know, they've they started low-key at the top. I think they finished 4th in their first season. Failed to make the finals last season, if I'm not mistaken, or they did make the finals last season. Had a decent season. Lost to Lyricen, obviously, eventual grand finals. There was a lot of times where they looked a bit shaky. Even this season now, like, you know, it goes back, like, this is not really a result you'd expect. You'd expect Kaito to be able to be a bit more coordinated, a bit more organized. Regardless, Tavi, really well played to Oppenheimer. That's 1-0 going into their own pick as well. Like, you cannot do nothing but clap them for that.
Yeah, and that's kind of brings up a good point, because Kaito, I've always had the feeling that it was like the survivor side that had issues on certain sets.
100%.
But I think perhaps it's not just the survive side. Maybe it's just the killer picks coming in from Kaito, like the kind of killers that they are really good against, which I believe are the S tiers. I think they have some really strong survivor side against S tiers. But then when it comes to the lower tiers, I think somehow, I'm not sure what it is, it just crumbles apart a lot easier than the high tiers. So maybe the observation is slightly wrong. I just don't really. Yeah, I just don't not entirely convinced by some of the Survivor side picks perhaps on these sets, but they're not Survivor side picks. I mean Survivor side performance on these sets. As we do see this down come through onto onto oh my, why have I not paid attention? And anyway, onto arcade. Yeah, it's probably solidifying a 4K1. I feel like this trial could have definitely been better than a 4K1. Like that first chase with 2 gens. I don't really know how we've only done 2 gens and like 2.5 survivors. Sorry, yeah, 1.5 survivors have died during that time. So perhaps it's a set pick. I've actually said this before for Kaido, but I will say it again, where I think they really need to be more aware of the sets that they pick, because they do have that potential of really throwing out like really strong results on sets. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but it just okay, down through the pallet as well. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but perhaps if they pick more S tiers, maybe we'll get a clearer result on that.
All gens popping Tavi. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stages as it stands for fresh. Definitely a great result for Ellie. What we expected as well, Tavi, right? You know, not a 4K, but decent result. High stage 4K. Definitely the caliber of player that Ellie/Ray has lived up to the entire time they've been in OSL. There is no doubt about that. This is going to be another down onto our last survivor, Kate. Assuming the last survivor 2 teaches just a cross map on a gate. There's no way he's not a cross map on a gate. There's no way. Please be pulled. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I mean, forcing locker there is not a bad option. I mean, 2G should honestly, in my opinion, just be on the gate taking the stage. Just pulling there is not the worst decision. Either way, like, I still think one of them dies here. Now potentially it could be 2 teacher. Oh no, they have the gate. The gate's just open. Never mind. I'm lying. So great pull then.
Yeah, I just like because yeah, it took like a long time to even find a single survivor, and then the restart happened. So yeah, we'll have to see if Kaido can replicate that. I think they will. But also I think I mentioned just before we went out last time, or I mentioned that I agreed with you on like the big map aspect. I do kind of see the vision there with Kaido being like having more space to work with and just, you know, using that space really well. And I think I'll have to agree with that, John.
Definitely gonna have to see what the play is for KaitOkids. We do get the block there. That is egregious, Tavi.
Yeah. I just that good start from before.
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I wanted to ask something, Tavi, before we loaded in. I low-key forgot it, but it's crossed my mind again. It was gonna be about what needs to happen on the side of Ray here, because like you said, the start was about Shadi last game. We didn't really find anyone, and now we've sort of been gifted a free down here. So what needs to happen now from this point on? We've got a mid hook, mid 9. Probably not the best hook we can be getting on the side of the survivors. You know, KaitOkids, you said they're good on S tiers. I'd agree. Bigger map, we talked about that. More space to work with. It's tough. It's tough because Ellie's proven to be good on S tiers as well. So this will be a tough test.
Yeah, and although I think as was confirmed by you before, it's like Kaneki's, you know, being pushed down. It's not considered broken like a pallet eating machine, like a health state machine. It's not really that as much nowadays. It's still like the gist is still there. Like he's got stupid maneuverability at the end of the day. So what needs to happen, I think, considering that this has been committed in camps, Ellie should just I mean take the free painters first, but yeah, Ellie should commit this tunnel out. I think with Kaneki, getting a tunnel out is pretty much unavoidable. Like for survivors. Like, you cannot really stop the tunnel out unless the gen pressure is like way like high enough that a tunnel out will risk all the gens popping. But in this case, of course, the first down happened pretty much like 1 second into the trial. That was just an extremely fast down. And it's going to be an extremely fast second down too. And now KaitOkids have to try and recover this. They got the unhook. That's one part of the recovery. And second part of the recovery, I think, will have to be popping at least 2 generators. It's just like in the 3v1 against the Kaneki, the resets are going to be ridiculous. You have to stealth a lot, and it's just going to be really difficult in general for the survivor side. So they need to start getting the pressure on. They need to start getting the percentages in, and we can see just from the number on the bottom left, it's still at 5. There's just no gens popping. The chases have been too short, and Ellie is just in a really comfortable spot, in my opinion, to just sit on the hook and force the 3v1 and just try go for a high 4K. And from again, from just seeing the survivors rotate, I think it will just be the case. I don't know if there are many more resources for Ace to work with, but even if they are, again, it's still Kaneki. Still going to get through the pallets quickly and force a 3v1, whether the survivors like it or not. At least that is one generator done in the distance though, so it's a bit of relief for survivors, but still very difficult trial coming ahead for KaitOkids survivor side.
I would agree, Tavi, all things considered. And to be honest with you, Stavros, tunnel out coming very early in this game. Quinia needs to have a good chase, needs to last. If he doesn't, he's leaving his team 3 injured. In a 3v1, I apologize, at 4 gens. We are taking pellet control. This should just be death onto Quinia. We do make it. That was kind of do or die. I'm not sure if that was a sprint burst or something there. That was very interesting. We do drop on the good side. Ellie getting the down there. Ray, Ellie, whatever, doesn't matter. My bad. I've made that mistake my whole life, 3 seasons now, and I'll continue to make it. Regardless though, Tavi, pretty upsetting. That's a pretty bad start for Kaito. You know, 1 death at 3, it's not the worst start, not an amazing start. You're not writing home to mama for that start, but you're definitely not, you know, singing a song for it either. So, up to you, bro, what you think, how this game goes from here. This definitely could just end 4K1, and my prediction will that it will be ending as a 4K1.
4K1, I think, could be a bit generous here, because if we do manage to find our injured Novos, I think that's trouble, but at the moment, let's say fairly safe. So again, at the moment, it's just going to be forcing a chase onto a healthy survivor, 2 teacher instead, and we'll get the vault through the window just in time, just to buy a bit more time, but just to buy a bit more distance, I meant. But it's still problems, because this is another injury coming down. This is White just giving away pretty much, I would say, a free health state, and Ellie is just deciding to commit here. So I don't know really if they can even get 2 gens done from this spot. In theory, they need to reset at least 1 survivor here for Kaito, whether it be 2 teacher, whether it be Naros, doesn't really matter to me. They just need to get it done, because there's just no way to last against a Kaneki. There's one of the resets coming through, and from that as well, I think that should, in theory, that should give Ellie the information that the gen is kind of like far away, because that reset took a while. Like, that reset did not take like 20 seconds. It took like 30 seconds. So yeah, I mean, they had to completely reposition. Both survivors had to completely reposition, and then look at that. There's just another tag from the, what do you call it? The leaps, the Kagune leaps, and suddenly the survivor's back to injured, and then the Kaneki can leap back into the action, whatever you want to say for that. But I mean, that's just the reality. You can just traverse the map really quickly, get an injury, and then just go back to the gen setup, try and catch out one of the injured survivors. And yeah, it's just going to be Nevros, I believe, gets dead hard. Never mind, he doesn't go down, but still there's a problem of this top side kind of area being shut out, because I'm pretty sure this is where the pressure is. So I don't really know if, yeah, I don't really know if this chase is gonna mean that much at the end of the day. So, Noah's gonna get hooked again. Survivors really don't threaten their generator just yet. So, I think Navos might die here to get a failed tag there onto teacher. So, yeah, I don't know if 4K1 is achievable. I need more charms. There's 4K1. It's like perhaps 5 minutes ago. It's more looking like I would even be generous at 4K2, but now with this pain res, I would say 4K3.
Exactly right. All 4 painters is used. Ruin gone. Doesn't really matter though, to be completely honest. I don't think there's much prog around the map. That's not gonna stop Ellie or Ray from doing his rounds. Main nothing. Checking on 9 now. 9 has a little bit of progress. Can probably just kick that and finish up. Honestly, Tavi, it's been a pretty underwhelming performance 2 weeks in a row from KaitOkids. Last week they were without their main man Quinia. This week he's back, arguably against, I want to say a worse team, because Oppenheimer and Diamond will be a great match, and I do hope we will see we will be seeing that at some point through the season. So I will be crossing that one on the schedule to see how that ends, because that will be a beautiful match to watch. Both teams have just sort of just dismantled KaitOkids. I don't know if the KaitOkids era is over in terms of dominance. Maybe they just fizzle out, get the younger generation in, start building up the younger guys, sort of like what Gospel did. Chief made a mention today that Gospel maybe were just happy with their legacy and decided to invest in the youth. I mean, if you know me, I've done that since day one, ever since my split with Havoc. If you remember Havoc back in DBO, me, Mikey, Gibbsy, we went, did our own thing. Now, me and Gibbsy have parted ways, and now I'm doing my own thing with my own lads, and it's a beautiful thing, growing a team from the bottom up, and no, to be able to play with the lads I've got now, Tavi, it's second to none. And I think this is what you see from teams like Bleed Out, teams like Oppenheimer, teams like DD, Too Savage. This is what, teams just been playing together forever. They've built themselves up. I'm not saying KaitOkids haven't done that, but it seems they really are a shell of their former self right now, bro. I have to be brutally honest.
I think it's also perhaps comes down to confidence from Kaito. They just perhaps just the lack of performance in recent. I don't.
They've had a good result in a while, bro. I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's impacting the results in, just like a negative cycle. The fact that there's potentially the case anyway. The fact that it's just not being able to deliver on results, like perhaps like scrims is one thing, right? Like outing in scrims, that's one thing. But then when it comes to a bigger stage, when it comes to tournament stages, and just not being able to get results, it really can it really can just be that, I guess, just this much impactful on survivors. So I would really hope that Kaito can get some momentum back in the future, because they have in the past, they have performed well. They have had a few downs, sure, they've had their ups and downs, but they can perform. They have performed, and just seeing okay, 4K3 on Ghoul, 4K2 now actually, they did pop a gen while we were discussing that, but yeah, 4K2 is still, I think, a bit of the higher end on Ghoul. I don't really know what the survivors could have done better, except stealth, which, talking about that, I would assume that Kaito were a little bit annoyed that they could not keep the start they had in the previous trial. But, it is what it is, and 4K2 is, I guess, the best result that Ellie can get now. But we have a bit of a chase going on for not Nova's, White, sorry. So perhaps this trial is not over yet. I mean, the death hook, sure, but it seems like, just as I'm saying, that the chase will go on, that Ellie leaves, and that is a bit of momentum perhaps going back to Kaito in this trial. I think if they can win this, I would like this win the set or at least get like a good result. Like 4K0 would be incredible from the start that they had. If they can do that, then perhaps they can get the confidence back to perform in the upcoming weeks, or whatever set that they pick next. And seems like they get some actually good jukes coming through here. White's not going to take any tags here, just going to play the filler. So suddenly the KaitOkids game of just has stepped up, and this is what they needed to do at the start. They're doing it now. A bit late now. There's a survivor dead, but I guess now Ellie's being run is better than nothing. It is much better than before. And now I guess maybe there's that question of overcommitment as well. Like, have I been chasing the survivor for too long? I guess White now being left in the healthy state against a Kaneki, that is incredible. So another gen gets done. I'm honestly like really surprised that this happened. So this is what KaitOkids are capable of, drums. As we're talking about them not getting results, they are actually performing really well in the current situation.
I don't know if it's Kaito. I mean, obviously they're playing well to some aspect. Obviously, Ellie wouldn't be having this rough of a time if they weren't. What is Ada doing here as well? I do think Ellie has made a couple crucial mistakes towards this ending. Resulted in giving up 2 gens. Although in saying that, Kaito have played extremely well. That chase down deep 6 went on for way too long. That chase before as well was way too long. Some of that came out beautifully. I want to say though, 2 Teacher White and Naroz have all played this 3v1 beautifully. And as they probably should. This is like what we were talking about. This is what they are capable of. Finish top 4, so we do expect high standards from them. And I don't think it's that we were shitting on them, Tavi. I think it's more we expect them to be better. And I don't think that's an unfair statement to make, because they are one of the top teams. Been a team for a while, a long time. 16 tournament wins for Quinia. So you need to really show what that's all about. And obviously towards the end of this ghoul set, Stavros, they've been able to show what that's about. We might have got it, I will admit, we might have got a bit preemptive, but I think still what we talked about still kind of means something, because, it did look dire. And if not for this beautifully played 3v1 by these 3 survivors right here, which, I mean, you're not going to get another gen pop, which is unfortunate, but you've gotten 2 in a 3v1. That's all you can really ask for against the ghoul of all things. Well, that's beautiful. It's still a bit underwhelming. I'm going to be honest, Harvey. Like, fighting from a 4K3 to a 4K1 is like... It's like, yeah, they did well, but it's like kind of what we should be at for me. That's just how I feel personally, Tavi. I'm not sure how you feel, how other people would feel. I just expect a lot from KaitOkids because I know how good they can all be. But really well played to Ellie, regardless of all that. Like, 4K1 is just beautiful.
Yeah, I think the feeling of getting like improving the result from an extremely dire result to a more acceptable result, that does come with a bit of caution. I guess like the fact that the 4K3 was potentially imminent, the fact that that had to be reeled back from whether it be like the fault of Ellie or just like really good chases, perhaps both.
Yeah.
The fact that was the case, I guess, makes me wonder whether again that could have been done at the start of the trial rather than at the end of the trial. But it's still, again, it's still gotta feel good for Kaito at the end of the day. And if they get another gen done, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I didn't think it was possible 2 gens ago when there were 3 survivors in the trial and 3 injured in the trial and 1 survivor being chased and like infinite pressure on the Kaneki side. If they do get another gen done, okay, we do see it very early. But like,
so not to cut you off, Tavi. I mean, we did. I mean, I don't know about we, but I did say even when it was in a dire straits, it would have been probably 4K1. That's what you expect. What has happened there? Have we been tree tech? Was that a tree tech? Is that what I just watched? There's no way that just happened. I did mention Tavi. It would be around a 4K1 result from where they were at in that point in the game. Not to Not to make myself look like a big muscly macho man, but it's expected, bro. It is expected, at least for me. These survivors are good survivors, man. We aren't gonna pop that gen. Would have been really cheeky if we were able to get it. Now that would have been generational if we could have popped for a 4K zero, because that might have been something to write home about. But we are gonna live. This is just a really nice setup. That's what you really can say about that. You need to probably kick this pellet. Oh, beautiful fake there from Neuroz. Probably, if not the best survivor, the second on the team. I mean, the way form has been recently, probably say Neuroz is probably the best survivor this team has to offer. Doesn't make that pig shit ping hit with the BL. This gen is 50-60, no chance of pops. 4K1 Tavi, pretty much what I'd say we both expected and kind of predicted. Not that, you know, we're both happy about it, I'd say.
I think from I know that you were expecting 4K1. I thought that when the trial started, I saw how quickly that that Quina went down and get tunneled. I saw that and I thought there's no way that they get another 2 gens done. So I thought 4K3. But from the previous trial, from the stealth thing, I was like, whoa, these stealth thing, this is KaitOkids. This is what they do. And like, this is how they've been performing in the past. So I was expecting like maybe even outs, I don't know, or like 4K zeros. But it's bumpy riders and it's been a...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Big Hasso. Joined with me is Headhunter111, and I have recently just departed from Ancestor. No, I am only joking. I am Jarms, joined with Tavi. That is true news, though. Unfortunately, the Big Hasso has left Ancestor. That breaks my heart and should break hearts of millions across the world. Tavi, talk us through this last set. We just saw 4K1. You argued to me it should have been 4K3. I probably would agree with you in some capacity, even before K2. What is going to happen here on the side of Oppenheimer? What needs to happen?
Well, I hope that the doctor incident doesn't repeat itself, and my very formal salutations to whichever team decides to pick up Hasso. Maybe that's maybe okay, whatever. Okay, get over that. But yeah, I really don't want to see like a locker incident happen because 4K1 is pretty doable against a ghoul. I don't think the ping is like ridiculously high, so in theory the chases should last a bit in the 3v1. So like yeah, if there's no like very glaring mistakes from the survivors, perhaps if we get some good stealthing at the start too, then rotation should be able to get in place before the first chase happens. And yeah, that's what's ideal in Ghoul. That's what's ideal on S tiers in general. I think Ghoul, I don't really know if it's more important, but yeah, it's still on the list of things trying to do. Like you really don't want to give away the first stack of the token or whatever it is to give an extra leap. So yeah, we do load in Notor, Kaneki. Let's get it going. I don't think that was a bird at the start, so good start for survivors. And oh, I think that's a ruining corrupt charms, so that is not that good for Notor already, but he's gonna look around the edge of the map. Corrupt's actually ticking over the 30-second mark already. He does find a survivor. That's a blessing to a Kaneki, and he misses the leap and he managed to get away and just get back again from a hill. So yeah, I guess 4K1, if Notor really wants to amp up the pressure, get this down at the jungle gym extremely quickly. It's gonna be a pre-drop and a leave though, so I'm not sure again how many resources are left on the map. There's a filler that's going to be used, but in theory this should be a death fairly soon. So yeah, get stuck there. There's Ada, and that's going to be the down. So yeah, fairly average, I would say fairly average start from both sides. I think Notor really lucked out on that find because he was pretty deep edge map. So getting that find while like the rotations to the top side if he didn't get it, then yeah, it would have been bad. But yeah, getting the fine kind of, I think, balanced out the start of the trial. And yeah, now I guess we'll just have to see how it goes from here, Joms.
Good synopsis from you, Big Muscles K. He'll hook at the 1 side, more the 11 side of the map. If we're going to be completely honest, we do catch out a survivor here. This is Big Yelly, Christmas Eve himself. We are going to have to kind of duke here. We do give up a dual tag. Obviously, it is quite an easy tag to give up, so you can't fault the bro for that too much. But just means we're able to screen back to hook here. We are forcing a rotate, and you can sort of tell, I guess, that Nautilus isn't as honed in as maybe, something as his nurse maybe. He's obviously, playing very well, but a couple micro mistakes is what I've noticed early Tavi, which can spell a bit of trouble later on if things get a bit dire.
Yeah, there was that little miss on Eve. On the loop, on the tag. I mean, it didn't really amount to that much. Actually, I think he got a free pallet out of the way. And actually, with the survivor coming in and taking a hit now, I don't know if I completely agree with this play from Oppenheimer. But yeah. Anyway, so with it's, I don't know, maybe a little bit of nervousness on the micro. I think it's fairly fine on the Kaneki though, because again, got such good not maneuver, but yeah, I mean maneuverability. He's just got really good movement across the map, got really good coverage, should just be able to kind of bail out on the mistakes. And Noto, yeah, I mean, just gets it down here, not really that fancy of a down, not really any body block coming through, but it's not necessary at all. I mean, 2 gens pop in the distance, sure, that's, I guess that's kind of bad, but, there's still injuries on the board. Ada's getting reset by herself, so she can get caught out and resume the tunnel out perhaps in the future. Also, Eve is still injured, so that could spell problems later on with snowballing. So I would not count Noto out yet, especially with this early ball coming through. Noto can just like immediately head back to the hook and try and pressure the healthy survivor, but it's instead actually just gonna go for the tunnel out onto not our Ada. So yeah, I don't know at this point. I still think it's really dependent on this chase. I don't know, because we saw a body block there as well as attempted, but then Noto did not even bother tagging for the body block, so now there's additional health stay in the trial. We managed to take it back though with a nice little leap coming through, so like you just need to get it down, Noto, at this point, I think.
I agree, Tavi, and 2 hooks, 3 gens. We do get another injure onto Yelly here, which is good to see, of course. Tavi, it's getting a bit scary here. I'm not too sure, what. I'm not so sure where I can gauge the position we're at from either side. It's kind of stagnant, if I'm going to be honest. We do have 3 gens top. We are just jumping onto Jake Park's back here. He does make, he doesn't make the vault, so we're going to get hooked on a pain res. Tavi mid there, 12 being worked egregiously by Ada. Could it be problems, Tavi? Could it be? I'm not too sure. I think it's looking a bit more killer side of Northall right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's really interesting to assess because Northall has 3 hooks over 3 different survivors, so there's kind of like the passive pain res slowdown, kind of like stopping, I guess, like a gen from popping in a way. But then there's also the issue that like these survivors can play more aggressive, knowing that they are not the tunnel out. Just as I said, of course, Arcade X gets downed over the pallet just thanks to great hitboxes of the behavior game. But yeah, like the pressure's kind of like on Kaneki. I can see a world where like having split hooks works, and Noto's kind of getting to that point. There's 3 survivors that could, I guess, potentially be a target for the tunnel out. Of course, Kate's now the prime target, now being hooked, and it's still like, yeah, like easily snowballable just if there's a bit of coordination issues on Oppenheimer's part. But This gen popping, I think that'll be really good obstacle out of the way. You can go ahead and reset the recently tagged Eve, and really just try and rely on this chase coming through from X. The final chase, in theory, if of course North decides to take it, but they're instead just going for they're deciding, no, I'm just take the 3 down instead. And oh, Kate is right here. Telllout is right here in the locker. So actually, so now the locker works, whereas in the previous trial it didn't. Of the doctor. Sure it does. Like, I guess that risk is worth.
You do need to pop only 2 gens, Tavi. We're only playing for a 4K0 here. You and I both know that yelling not being Deathhook is quite good for the side of the survivors. I did mention it might have been killer sided. Loki forgot that the bro was playing for a 4K too, so maybe not. Yeah, I mean, this is rough, Tavi. This is one more gen is... No, we need to pop 4K0, Tavi, right? If I'm not mistaken. They popped 4K1 last trial, so they need to pop 2 more gens here. 1 more gen for the Tycon, 2 more for the win. Everyone's reset, Tavi. 12 has the most progress, but the gens are decently split. What are you thinking? It's a very awkward set. Was that Medal of Man too on a build? That's crazy.
Well, considering how Oppenheimer been playing, I can actually understand the Medal of Man pick. Like they've been sending in, I think, actually I don't remember the exact survivors, but I remember like the first time X was in there trying to take a hit, and then North was like, yeah, okay, you can take a hit, but then I'm just gonna go hook you instead. And then the same thing happened, I think, with Eve. So like, there's some interesting gameplay going on, but now there's actually, I think wait a minute, like Noto might be able to turn this around a bit, because like there are 3 you know, like a bit ago there were like 3 survivors who are like healthy, and now like 2 of the injured survivors now they're both Deathhooks. So like in theory, even if Ace can pop this gen here, like there is that potential to snowball, just kill the first injured, find and kill the next one, then suddenly there's just 1 survivor left who, I mean, you ignored the whole time, but it doesn't matter because they can't get 1 gen done the rest of the trial with the rule literally leaping everywhere. So that's going to be a tag on to Mumi, pretty much the first time we've seen them this entire trial, and they're going to be left alone because these 2 injured survivors are way more vulnerable. They have to be stealthing somewhere. You cannot play this aggressive, especially with 4K1 this close. And as I'm saying that, actually, wait a minute, Ace didn't even pop the gen either, so there really is that problem where like 1 down and then suddenly the gen goes to 0. I mean, this is going to be pain res if Ace gets down here and an eruption, so that would be shambles for the generator if that were to occur. But there's Mummy going for the second fault. Oh, okay.
Pretty awkward stuff, Tavi. I mean, we're at a point where maybe 4K2 can just be achieved now. So I'm not too sure. You know, we've got our last pain res, progress gen. We've just noticed that. That's good information to have if you're Nortor. Gens are decently split, so it's kind of rogue for Big Nor, but I still think, you know, you can get to a Tycon. This is what they should be playing for. Ideally, you pop all if you're Oppenheimer. Ideally, you 4K2 if you're Nortor. 4K1 is the tie, so we're at the legit stagnant here. This is right in the middle. Either way, it could go either side. 3 survivors left, 2 Deathhook, Tavi. It's a bit of an awkward one. You'd assume LXG's pumping the gen somewhere. Or Yelly, I should say. What has happened there?
I mean, even if the gen's being, you know, really cranked by LXG, who is, I believe, the player X, it's still a bit of problems. Oh, a bit of haste coming through and resilience. Oh, hell nah. And that means that Noto leaves the chase and tries to interrupt the generator instead. Imagine if I keep escaping me. X. No, that was X, right? Imagine if X got down there, like no resilience, maybe that small bit of haste doesn't come through, then that death also happens. They have 1 less survivor, and the generator you know, like it's just so good for survivors, and they're doubling it, so they really want it done to secure a tie condition. So that was a huge mistake coming in from Norta, whether you know how intentional it was, whatever. And it's gonna be Tycon. So in theory, I don't think Oppenheimer flipped the gen here, not with 2 injured. But that's why I said last trial. They didn't. Norta's still looking.
Oh my
around,
god.
Oh wait, this generator. Oh my god, this is 75% as well. So they get to pick up. And if the chases can last here, Jarms, like maybe they can rotate to that generator in time, prevent the eruption from pocking onto it if they just don't get down, and yeah, just really just force Nortor to double down on these gens instead. And you can see Jake, Eve just doubling back, try and stop the generator from aggressing, but immediately takes a double back. Good comms there from Oppenheimer, but is he found? Oh, this is such a crucial find for Nortor, and I think he's found. He holds the W away.
Thanks, filler.
He has a filler.
Oh!
He get... Bro, this is the chase. This is the chase.
This is why you need to scrim the killer and learn the counter play. We do see Nortor try and swing through it. This is getting dire now. We're just going to zone back to the 11 filler. We might see Nortor opt to fling back to 6 here, and he is. We see that Survivors doubling up top. We just need to last if you're LXG. The fake isn't going to come through. Comma eruption now. Do we get the double? No, we don't. We need to someone for the pick. He's picked. He's picked. Double the gen. He's picked. There's no way he's picked that. They don't pop though. They're splitting. Oh, lordy lord.
Why didn't they double it? I don't understand. I'm fairly certain they would have gotten that through the double picks, because like, you know, Nortor would have had to M1 one of them, and then the other one can sit the gen, and Nortor would pretty much have to M1 the other one too. So that gives a really good amount of time. Again, I could be mistaken here with the timing. I really do believe that gen could have been completed by now, but I mean, with this eruption, I guess. Oh, wait. I mean, it's going to get done anyway because Nortor is just not checking it. He's not close enough. Committed inside the main building. That means that's...
Get on the gen, son.
I mean, it's going to be popped anyway. There's nothing Nortor can do, and that's 5 generators popped. There's no way. There's no way Nortor gets back in time. It's impossible. Even with eruption, there's just no way. We've got the bait from Eve. And Kate can just hit the generator. What is going on? What is going on? Why is the gen not popped yet? And now eruption comes through. What is going on? Drums, this is... What?
The Jake just spent so much time dilly-dallying, doing nothing. Are they going to double?
No. What is this?
Bit of a misplay from Oppenheimer. The gen is 80. I mean, one of these gens can still pop. It is not over just yet. We need to last. If you last, it is going to happen. Nice win of the vault there with life. We might just opt to go back to the gen. We need to run. Haul ass if you're Jake. Oh, it's just not gonna. Maybe if you're Kate, Kate needs to haul ass up and pop the gen. That's the only way this is gonna happen. You're not lasting. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. We needed to haul ass fast. So yeah, that's an upsetting result. That should have just been 4K 0.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, Johns. That gen was like 105% done. You just said 2 survivors there. Why? Like, Jake did not need to leave the gen. I thought that Jake was leaving the gen because the gen would pop, but it didn't. Like, it was just like 3 seconds away from popping, and you could have just sit the gen, force Nortor to use it, and like haul Vijay, the character, right, haul themselves over to the gen, and now it's just Tycon. It's just Tycon. So we are going into the 1 AM, ladies and gentlemen, of OSL. We're going into the 1 AM, pushing it to the Spirit tiebreaker, where maybe 2Teacher can turn it around. Like, it's currently 1-0 to Oppenheimer, right? Because of this. Sorry, 1-0 to Oppenheimer, 0 to KaitOkids. But with the Spirit set, KaitOkids might be able to take away a much needed win. So
Much need tie.
yeah.
They physically cannot win from this point.
No, I
Tie.
meant set win. I meant set win. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Oppenheimer 1, KaitOkids 0 going into the tiebreaker. That means that pretty much for the situation that Evolution found themselves in versus Forsaken, it means they cannot win. They can only tie. Needed to win this. Need to win this set in particular. Let's take a short brief intermission, which will be our last set no matter what. Please stay with us. It's going to be a good one. Welcome back. You know who it is, Mr. APAC, 2-time champ, 1-time champ. Going with Tavi, 0-time champ. To be honest with you, Tavi, that was an egregious set. I'm not happy. I'm not happy in the slightest, but I'm proud of KaitOkids, killer player, for persevering there, Tavi. That's what I'll say. I'm gonna throw it off to you.
Yeah. Let me let me start by saying every set that I've watched this series, every set has been pretty unexpected. That's a very neutral way of putting things. See a four stage on the Doctor for Oppenheimer's Survivor side. Then we see a mirrored 4K1 in which in one of the games we had a tunnel out of 3, and the other one we had 3 hooks when there were 4 gens left. I don't know, but it's such a rollercoaster ride. But we're finally in on our final set, tiebreaker, and for informational purposes, since the second set was a tie and Oppenheimer did win the first set, it means that KaitOkids will not be able to take away a series win, but they still could take away a set win on the current killer, which Norto is piloting actually, not 2Teacher, so I did unfortunately mislead you all into thinking that. But yeah, Norto should be getting this first down fairly shortly into the trial. There goes there goes Nancy, and yeah, first hook comes in onto Nancy, who I'm reading this correctly as X. Yeah, now placed on the hook, which is the pain res. So I'm not too well versed in Nortal's spirit. I don't believe it's like a huge start for either side. I think it's a pretty average chase coming through from both sides, but good death spot at least. So yeah, Nortal I guess would just be. We'll have to see what he decides to do. Does find Survivor, does make a pallet though, so we'll be safe for now. I would assume Nortal goes back to hook here, jumps, right? I don't think so. Chasing this is worth it.
Yeah. Probably needs to hover back to hook now. Is he Tavi or is he just committing this?
Committing.
I wonder what the decision making is here. Maybe there's no DS these days. There's only dead hard. Maybe he's suspecting a dead hard on our Nancy, maybe on our White, but I don't know. This is a very awkward decision, I think, Tavi. We've just decided to not tunnel at all.
Yeah, and I guess maybe want to go for a better death location, like a bit closer to the generators. That's a potential reason, but I think it was just a really, they're just really nicely done by our ace just to prolong the chase. That's the first gen popping, and now Norto I think might get a little bit strength far from that first hook. I think we also did see a "will make it" apply onto the hook. I can't really remember the timing there, but it was a very fast heal. So we do know that one of the other 2 survivors, who we have not seen this trial, one of them has "will make it." So maybe we'll keep that in mind for next time. Gen situation though, it seems a bit strange. I think since this gen on the top side did pop. This is actually, yeah, this is the top side. Since that did pop, they kind of want to send the deaths towards there, but at the same time, we've got the hook there, so and get the unhook first. Norto could have definitely committed that, in my opinion, but I'm just deciding to hold their horses for the time being. So yeah, very very interesting start to a spirit set. I've not seen anything like this before. I guess I did lie when I said that first gen popped on the top side. I think it was more like the bot side. But Norto is deciding to can this hook though, so we will see a trade come through jumps. Yeah, I've not really seen spirit players do this kind of stuff before.
Yeah, I mean, the way Norto's been playing, I'm just gonna say he's just gonna turn around and take the hook on to. I believe that is our. Wait, we've traded an X now, so X is gonna be death hook. Honestly, Gohan, Gohan? Why am I thinking about Gohan for? That's awkward.
I wish I would go on now, but it would be like 9 p.m. for me.
No, I've called you Little Chief, and then I've just called you Gohan. I do apologize. That is terrible from me. That's just the result of it getting extremely late. 7 hours live. I've been here the whole time. Oh, I'm sorry if my energy's been a bit lower. I do love everybody. I do love both these teams. I am hoping for a good result. Shout out the staff team. It's been locked in today. Holy, it's been a long day. But regardless, we're on our last set. Regardless, Tavi, KaitOkids can only tie this. We've mentioned this. Yeah, an interesting decision to send X in for the trade. I mean, it's painless, so the right decision. But now the bro just might die. They play 3v1 at 1 gen. I think might be the play unless we see a double save at Stabby.
I don't think we will see a double save, but no, okay. It seems like Cahill is here to go for the trade, so I think a double save against Spirit is not really, to me, it's just not, it just doesn't make sense. It's just Spirit can catch up really quickly, so the 2 injuries, and then, I don't know. But regardless, it's going to be the potential final chase going onto Nancy, which is gonna proc the bounce landing, so gonna make a bit more distance towards the death spot, which is good. I don't think they have any resources around here, so I'd assume they don't last, but we'll see if Noltor can follow up on this. Does go for the swing and the miss. Good little crouch there from Nancy. I keep on forgetting the name, but it's been a while. But yeah, Noto goes for another swing and a miss. So this chase, I think, is going on for a bit longer than Noto would have wanted. Surely you can get it down there. Do you see the bird fly off? So a bit of an indicator, and Nancy will finally go down. And yes, it is. Sorry, this is Nancy is EX going to the afterlife. But I think that amount of time that Chase bought, it was pretty substantial. Like our survivors managed to progress a generator by around 20%. They finished another generator and also got a reset. So getting that down like just 10 seconds earlier, 15 seconds earlier, might have been able to catch out one of the survivors performing these actions. Just saying that though, Cahill gets caught out on the medkit heal, and it is going to be a natural reset for them next time. And yeah, Noto got to take stock of this situation. I don't think it's likely that they will get a 4K1 at this point, but with Ellie giving away a free tag, perhaps their fortune could change here for Noto. The only problem is, again, the death spot, or like the chase spot of Ellie, is just pretty convenient for survivors. Like, it's fairly away from this generator setup. Perhaps Noto can drag this all the way to 11, shallow 11, to get the pain res and, you know, try and stop the gens from going as high. But still, it's not like the worst position. Cahill just gets reset. I was going to say, like, Cahill reset in this time, and we've still not really seen our ace, who is Mummy, at all in the past like 3 to 5 minutes. So, like, they could start like ghosting some pressure, I guess. Like, just, you know, just not really playing too impatiently, not going for the pull, not really showing themselves. As I say that, though, we see some scratch marks. But yeah, like, Noto, I still think with the pressure that the survivors have on, like, it should be fairly close to a 4K0. Yeah, Shaq's also pumping 2 drums, so I think with like Shaq and Deep 12 being pressured, they just use the exhaustions correctly. Like, they put Sprint Burst on this gen, they put Live on the Shaq gen. I think yeah, they could definitely go for 4K0. Could Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, 4K0 would be good. We're chasing our last fresh on Cahill right now. Might see the 2 boys in the back double the gen array, and I believe that is X. We do make a play from Nortor there. Are going to choose to phase down on top of Cahill. Does the gen pop spectator? It does pop, so you're exactly right, Tavi. Great synopsis again. Painres won't come through in time, unfortunately, but it won't matter anyway. This is still a brilliant result from Nortor. Dren is really huge in this endgame as well, actually. very huge. You can set yourself up for 8 stages if you want. Maybe you can pull this even if you want. I don't suspect Norto will let them pull though. This has been a good day out for him. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it's, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, 4 is good. I think, Sabi.
Yeah, 8-4 is like fairly doable. We do catch out Mumi here, who I think will just be able to hold W to the gate safely, or at least rely on the heal tech later. So it should just secure this 8-stage win condition. So eight stage result, I mean, which will make the win condition 9 stages for Oppenheimer. So yeah, now Kaido, I think Kaido's survivor side do have a 4 fresh. Perhaps they can take away something better on the survivor side. So yeah, aiming for that 7th stage is their survivor side. Perhaps they can get it done. I'm not sure. I will have to say though, the previous sets have been a little bit, I would say, in Oppenheimer's favor. So I'm not sure how they'll perform here, but they do find an edge map saga. So White's going to take the first chase. Oh, they do actually manage to drop the pallet safely. So yeah, Jams, this is, I think, I would say looking like the similar start that Noto had the previous trial, except, well, of course, that was Noto on Killer and Oppenheimer survivors, whereas this time is going to be a kind of switch around, you know. I have not seen Eve. I've not seen Eve play Killer, and there's a nice bounce sniping from White there. But I've not seen Eve play Killer, and it's going to be a pretty big difference, I'd say, difference maker, because Noto, Eve, yeah, 2 different playstyles, surely.
And with the offer, with the talent that Oppenheimer have to offer on Killer with Ellie, you do suspect that Yelly, not to get them mixed up, Yelly, who is also known as Eve, will have some intense mechanical prowess on this Killer. I doubt they'd throw the bro on it if he or she didn't. I do believe Ellie, regardless, is the best Killer player on this team. It could play any Killer regardless of what it is. Play to a minimum level. What is it? 7 stages, Tavi 4 fresh.
Yeah.
Not the worst result to work with. Definitely not the best. On a Spirit, it's pretty average. Literally, probably just a bang smack on average. Probably conceded an extra fresh, if anything, but I mean, you can't hate it. It's good. I don't hate the playstyle here from the campingness from Yelly. I don't hate it at all. They kind of need to pull this. He knows that. Yeah, we're going to see a trade, Tavi. And if we can get a block off here, it might just spell trouble. We aren't going to be able to get a block. That's unfortunate. Imagine if we postured up on the corner there. We could have been able to block that in maybe 4 seconds, and that would have been probably the game over, Tavi. But taking the pain res is going to phase on to White after White, the Division 2 coach for Hella Flame. Made them finish 4th, did really well. See what he can do in this chase here, Tavi.
Yeah, I think I've kind of liked White's chases in the past, in the previous seasons that KaitOkids have played. I just think there's like some good chases in general. We do see some faking coming through from Eve, and actually it kind of works because 2Teacher just did not really decide to force a lot of the power out, so now it's going to be a full usage for Eve. But 2Teacher actually with the Spirit knowledge, you know, playing Spirit themselves, they managed to get away from that situation. That's huge because it means Yelly just has to find the pressure again. 2Teachers being completely left, the commitment hasn't been made, and Nevos, the other potential tunnel out, has also been healed in the distance, with White as well being healed. So look, this trial, it still can go either way. I thought with the initial camp that Yelly was doing, or I mean Eve, Christmas Eve, the initial camp that they were doing kind of led me to believe they would just completely drop and completely slug Nevos and then try and tunnel out White, but they did not, and they decided to go for the freshers instead, which I think is a safer play. It is going for the tunnel out with the slug is fairly risky, I would say. Like, you can end up trying to go for like a 4K result, maybe try go for like a 4K 0, 9 stages, but then also could just flip on his back if the survivors do play very efficiently, which we did see in the Ghoul trial. Like they just managed to get the gens done really quickly. So now with Eve getting this tag here, I think the game plan would be just slow the game down, really get sloppy Butcher value, and guarantee the pain resist as well, and guarantee those fresh hooks before the trial ends. Now, okay, you might not necessarily get a kill before the last generator pops, but that's fine as long as you can get 9 stages, which is currently Eve's win con. Survivors aiming to get 7, so there is a pretty big disparity between those two results. So yeah, at the current moment though, I think with these 2 gens popping jumps, I would say KaitOkids kind of seem to be in control. They've got 3 health states to work, 3 times 2 health states to work with, I meant, and they've got a survivor on hook who's got another like 2 minutes to hang. So in theory, they've got a lot of time to just maneuver around, play safe, rotate, and try go for the 7 stages. Whereas I'm pretty sure Eve at this point does really need to find someone quickly. So 2 teachers found again, at least. So we'll have to see what this chase goes out to be. But 2 teacher, I think, not the survivor you want to chase here.
Not really too sure what the interaction between the Quinton and the Spirit is going on there. The Quinton might be getting a bit greedy here. The Spirit has opted to just phase all the way back and take the tunnel now onto Quinia. This is a very interesting decision. This 2 gen needs to pop. If Quinia's chase can last, it will pop. We need to win a 50, and we're not going to. Tavi, that is pretty bad because now we can hook on 1, and I don't believe it's going to pop Tavi for this chase. Or
Pain us too, yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think Quinn's pain. Oh, Quinn is pain res. Tavi, I didn't even know that. That's so tough. Pain res doesn't hit 2 though, if I'm not mistaken, Tavi, unless it did.
Oh, yeah, you might be right there. I think that that gen on 2, which I think the clocks flip for you. The gen on 8. I think that one did not get painless. Otherwise, we'd see sparks going from it. And I think this one on this is the 2 gen. Wait, hold on. Wait, this one got painless surely, and then that one got left alone near the 2 hooks. So now they don't have either of them done. And as a payment, Eve has taken 2 eruptions on them. But then at the same time, now the survivors are completely reset. There are only 4 stages on the board, so they can actually afford to just completely sacrifice 2 teacher if they can get all of the rest of the survivors out the door, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good, like, safety to fall back on. Just like you get 3 survivors out the door at this point on, that is pretty much a guaranteed win. We do see Naros here, so there will be a commitment from Eve onto the survivor. It will be an M1, I believe. Oh no, there's a connecting TL, and that is huge because now it's going to force out way more power from Eve, and this is not really what they want to do.
Oh.
Naros is also safe here, and I think still has exhaustion too, so chances is just not going in the way of Eve, and Alex is making that return, making that comeback. Look at this.
And the Roz really wants to win this one, really wants to tie this one, win this set, overall tying the match. This would be the 2nd draw we've seen. If he is able to tie, you are going to see Yelly, otherwise known as Eve, leave. I think he's just received a comm that he needs to turn around and commit now. It is too late to leave, son. I think he just makes this around as well again, Tavi. Yeah. Maybe he gets the swing. No, he doesn't. This is so rough. So it looks like KK might actually tie this one up, Tav.
Yeah, and I think to the surprise of everyone, I think all of the sets tonight have just taken such a wild turn. Spirit, I think, I would have predicted that Spirit was going in KaitOkids' way. I was expecting 2 teacher to play, and 2 teacher also had some nice chases, but
no.
Navos, I don't know, bro. Navos.
No!
With the dead hard as well, managed to get away. somehow the generator's not popped yet, but like it doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, just to say that popped. Now this is gonna be the 5th stage of the trial. I'm pretty sure this is just locked in, right? Even though this hook is between 2 gates, like you've got 6 health states to work with. You've got 3 survivors healthy in the trial on their feet. So like there's ample resources to go around, and if KaitOkids throw this this win condition from here, which is just giving away 2 more stages, then I really do not know what to say, because they had a really incredible comeback from the start. They were looking at like clear loss on Doctor, and then they also had a terrible start to the Kaneki game, in my opinion. Then they reeled that to a 4K1, managed to somehow get Nortor to produce a 4K1, and this is just so close to their grasp, this tie condition, and it would just be heartbreaking to see it slip. Yelly Eve sees the door opens, but doesn't know where anyone is, so trying to perhaps just find an injured survivor, but I think it might be a bit too late. Sorry, my bees are going a bit funny here, but that is Queen being caught out and caught off guard. I think they do make the door, so that should be 5 stages. Yeah, very, very safely made the door. So 5 stages